Hello once again, grain traders. I'm meteorologist Sean Sublette for CropProphet, and time for the forecast discussion and verification for this Monday, July 14th, 2025. We turn the clock back to Friday. We look at the forecast of the forecast, meaning from Friday, the probability that the ECMWF ensemble mean would come in warmer or cooler than normal on this Monday morning. And when we go back to Friday, we see a very broad area of respectably high probabilities of cooler than normal to come in for the model on Monday from the western Great Lakes, extending through the western Corn Belt, through the plains, and all the way to the Rio Grande Valley of Texas. When we look at the actual ECMWF ensemble mean this morning, we see that it does pick up that signal across the northern part of the plains, or upper Midwest, if you will, from Minnesota back across the Dakotas. And similarly, down here across the Big Bend of Texas, we also had that very high probability that the model would come in warmer than normal in New England. Picked that up very well. But there's a lot of volatility in the model, and as a result, we don't see as much of that signal here in the actual model on Monday morning. Very small, not small so much probabilities, but small anomalies by a couple of degrees either side in week one from, let's say, Nebraska, Iowa, and into Kansas. Now, into week two, there's more of a mishmash in the week two probabilities of the ECMWF ensemble mean coming in warmer or cooler than normal in days 8 to 14. Remember here that the gray area actually shows a 40 to 50% probability that the ECMWF would come in near normal regarding temperatures from the Dakotas through lower Michigan. And then there was a couple of these small pockets of 40 to 50% probability that the model would come in cooler than normal from about Omaha and extending down here in northern Oklahoma near Tulsa. But there's been a lot of volatility in the models over the weekend, and as a result, the actual ECMWF ensemble mean coming in this morning shows a very large area where it is warmer than normal. Some places 4 to 6 degrees, even 6 to 10 degrees warmer than normal in the week two forecast from the plains and extending eastward into the Corn Belt. So there's been a big shift in the overall model guidance over the past few days or so. Now, as we shift to precipitation, again, this is the week one forecast, days 1 through 7, the ECMWF ensemble mean from last Friday, showing this 40 to 50% probability that it would come in wetter than normal from Minnesota across the plains and down to the Red River Valley between Oklahoma and Texas, and not as much signal going into the eastern Corn Belt. Very interesting because it has been so wet over the last few days through Iowa, and some concern there's actually been too much rain there, despite the antecedent dry conditions from the previous 4 to 6 weeks. The actual ECMWF ensemble mean for days 1 through 7, week 1, does pick up on that wetter than normal signal here across the upper part of the Midwest and the plains. Not so much there across the lower part of, let's say, the Mississippi Valley and down toward down to the Red River Valley of Texas and Oklahoma. Then into week two, the days 8 to 14 time frame, real absence of dominating signal here in that time frame. And as we go into the actual model, we see a continuation of that theme, near or slightly above normal precipitation. So good signs for the markets, we suspect, regarding yields from the Dakotas back down across the core of the Corn Belt from Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana. But we do see this increasingly drier than normal signal showing up across the plains and extending into South Texas. And don't forget, there is still time to sign up for the July Grain Market Weather Webinar. It is this Wednesday, July 16th at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. We've had more than 60 people sign up already. We thank you for signing up. Tell your colleagues, and we thank everybody for the good feedback from the June webinar. So there is still time to get involved. Go to the bit.ly link below, CP July Webinar, to sign up. Again, it is Wednesday, July 16th, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. I'm meteorologist Sean Sublette for CropProphet, and we will talk to you again later this week.